Gerard Hector, BSL Entertainment, and I'm here with Jeremy Levine, Landon Van Soest, and Dajae Shelton. They are all behind the excellent documentary For Hakeem. Everyone, welcome.
Thanks.
So I want to talk first about Dajae, for you, when you first saw the film. How was it seeing yourself on screen?
It was, when I first saw myself, I was like, just thinking back on how I used to act and how I used to be as a teenager and how much I've changed. It that was a highlight for me, like how much I progressed from how I used to be.
Because For Hakeem, of course, is a coming of age story, right? And everyone sort of goes through growing pains and lumps along the way, right? In particular, obviously for Black kids, it's a very different situation, right? Depending on where you're set, socioeconomic conditions. So for you, sort of witnessing yourself obviously going through that, but also now that you're older and an adult, seeing it in the larger context of the world, how was it sort of looking at yourself in that, under that lens?
Did we do an okay job?
Yeah, I think y'all did great. Like telling the story, y'all did real good. It was like perfect. Everything was perfect. I think so.
I think that was really our challenge, that, obviously we kind of came in with some prior knowledge of the school to prison pipeline and just a lot of the, this kind of sharp increase in suspension and expulsion rates and the statistic facts of how that leads to incarceration as an adult. But, we were kind of looking at this from miles away, literally. And I think we got an open invitation to come into Dajae's school through the judge that founded it. Got to meet Dajae and a lot of her peers and really start to, explore this at a human level. Like you said earlier, we really see this as a coming of age story, and all of the things that she was going through are things that I can relate to. I think are very universal themes of being a teenager, of finishing high school, with so many layers on top of that, of all of the immense challenges that she was facing at kind of a broad societal level. And all of those layers of complexity are really kind of what made the story interesting for us to pursue over several years.
And would you both say that the sort of interest of school, the prison pipeline, and socioeconomics, Michael Brown, all things that were sort of happening in and around Missouri at that time, were those things what drove you to want to jump right in the right way and tell the story? Because filmmaking, right, is ideology at some level. So are you both like, no, here's a political statement that we want to make, or a statement we want to make, and where can we find good content for this?
I mean, I think for us, just the stories you would hear about the school to prison pipeline, the way that kids, mostly Black and brown kids, are pushed out of school for stupid things that all kids do, and kind of put on this pathway, was just infuriating. And so, Ferguson, Mike Brown hadn't been shot yet, but the issues we were looking at, just the way that Black kids are criminalized in our country, was one of the issues that drove us out there. And I think those events, were happening constantly. I don't think it was a shock to Dajae that Mike Brown was shot. It was a shock that people actually paid attention, that people in Ferguson kind of rose up and made people pay attention. So yeah, I think there was a sense that all of these issues were going to come to a head, but nobody knew quite in what way that those events would turn out.
I think it was definitely kind of a winding road that led us to this story, and we had a general interest and just a general desire to really do something to confront what we saw as extreme injustices at several different levels of our society. But ultimately, that journey just brought us to Dajae, and I think we saw such an incredibly resilient, amazing young woman who clearly had a story to tell. And really our film is very focused on her. It's about her life, it's about her specific challenges. And we hope that a lot of people can see themselves in her and kind of learn from her experiences. But this is really Dajae's story.
Yeah, and Dajae, you go through a lot. I mean, there's a lot of things happen to you throughout the course of this film. And one of the striking things is the way so much of the violence gets normalized. And it's almost like, well, just another day where I live. When you go out and you see the movie and you talk to other kids about what's going on, what kind of message do you convey to them about, hey, look, this is what's real happening out here in the streets, but, here's what you can do to overcome.
Yeah, like a lot of kids back at the screening earlier, that was like, how did you deal with everything that was going on? Like, you were so strong, you was a mother, you was going through your child's father keep repeatedly getting locked up, and your dad and this and this. I was just like, I mean, just as you grow up in the environment, you don't have to, like, just be a part of. You can do something better. You can go off and, like, just, you can journal, you can do anything. You don't have to engage in everything that's going on in your environment because you live there.
Mm-hmm.
You can be something else.
And for you, how much support was there in the relationship with your mother? Of course, as any kid has with their mom, right? It's sort of up and down, right? Depending on what day of the week it is, what's going on.
True.
How has it been now that you're a mother and she's a grandmother?
It's so much better. It's like fun because she like loved them and she just spoiled them to death. So I feel like it made us closer because like she has another an extra part of me that, you know what I'm saying, like she can love on and stuff like that. And I just feel like it made us closer because she don't want me, she like, I don't know, it's just like,
And then, you can see generationally, right? So your mother obviously wants what's best for you, and for Akeem, in many ways, is a story. It's for him, right? What is it that you want to happen to him? What do you want his life to be going forward?
I want him to do like a lot. Like I want him to graduate high school and just like become his own little person and just be a good person. I want him to be a good loving person. I don't want him to have hate in his heart or nothing like that because where he's growing up at or what he's seeing or what he's experiencing because that's happening to the next person. I want him to, like overcome what's going on in that neighborhood and be better and go down a different path than me and his dad or my mom and my dad did.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want. I want the best for him. I want him to feel like he can do different stuff.
This has just been this, experience of kind of getting to know Booney and making this film over the last 3 years has been so kind of enriching and moving. And I think what you said earlier, that we really see her grow up on screen. And we've kind of witnessed this incredible maturity in Dajae. Obviously, we couldn't have known at the beginning that by the end she'd be a mother herself,
Right.
Where we begin the film is her mother looking at her, and where we end it is Dajae now looking at her son.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it is about what we're passing on to the next generation, what we want to convey, the kind of mentorship that we want to give, and what it is that, that we're sort of passing along to sort of create a better country, a better future.
And for you, too, as filmmakers, you shoot tons and tons of footage, right? So I know that Cutting Room Floor's got stuff that just didn't make it.
Sure does.
Were there any really funny outtakes that you guys really enjoyed? We're like, man, we wish this could get in the movie, but it doesn't make any sense.
It's this face I do, like when I'm tired of recording anything, I just they have like 30 takes or more of that same exact face and movement.
Our editor thought it was just like the best, so she compiled it all together.
I watched it the other day, it was so hilarious. I didn't believe I did it that many times. I was like, again.
Well, that's actually interesting when you bring that up. So again, looking at yourself on screen, what does it make you think about yourself going back and you're like, man, am I really like that?
I was thinking like, did I really cuss that much? I cussed so much. I was like, oh my God, that is horrible.
I think, Dajae is such an introspective and interesting person. We had a lot of, just hundreds of hours of footage literally. And I think when we started just trying to put some things together, we just felt like we weren't really capturing her. There was some element of herself that wasn't coming across. And just through a lot of our kind of down moments and conversations that we would have in car rides or late night snacks or whatever it might have been, that she would be telling us these things and talking very openly about the way that the events in her life were kind of affecting her and what she thought about them. And we kind of had a eureka moment where we're just kind of saying, do you ever write this stuff down? Like how do you get all this off your chest? And she's saying, I write in a journal all the time. I have all these writings.
Nice.
And I think we really, but I think knowing that and having that incredible material, we were able to work together to kind of turn that into the narration. That Dajé has her own commentary throughout the film
Yeah.
that I think, really brings her to life, and I think really kind of became the heart and soul of the storytelling for me.
So sort of two parts, because you touched on something interesting, late night snacks and spending time together. Dajé, how was it for you being a young black woman in Missouri hanging out with these two white guys, right? Well, because that's got to be kind of strange.
That's a reasonable question, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I know, like, in my neighborhood, people sell drugs, they carry guns, they prostitute, and they do all this dirty stuff or whatever. So they'll look at us like, why y'all hanging out with them? Or they the police, and they, like, stop coming around, and they, like, step back a little bit because they didn't know who they were. But when they started explaining who they was and stuff like that, they got comfortable, and it just became regular. So at first it was like
Standoffish.
yeah, it was like intense.
But I think really that, we've just spent so many years living together, really, and just developing this project and truly, just becoming complete partners, that we've really forged an amazing relationship.
You guys seem like a really close little, like, tight family. These are your two brothers that you like.
That's what I always say to my big brothers.
Oh, we care everything about her. I think it doesn't stop here for us either. I think we've just really forged a relationship, and we want to see her succeed and grow and help her accomplish her goals.
Well,
Awesome.
and that actually kind of reminds me, like, when you were asking, the first time you watched it, what did you think about seeing your story? And I feel like when we watched kind of the finished film together for the first time, there was just kind of this, you were talking about how you were able to hear from kind of your past self, right? About what your dreams were for your future self or where you are now. And I think that was such a cool way to look at it.
Right.
And I think, I don't know if that had any part of it, but we're really excited because do you want to talk about what's
Yeah, I'm going to ask you what's next.
In the fall, I'm going to school to become an ultrasound technician.
Congratulations.
Yep. That's my dream, to become an ultrasound technician.
Excellent.
Pursuing it.
Well, I think with what Jeremy was saying, you saw the film, and I remember you said something about, seeing these promises that you were making years ago is holding your future self accountable, holding you accountable now. Because you were saying, I'm gonna follow my dreams, I'm gonna go to college, I'm not gonna let these things stop me, right?
And I didn't.
That is amazing. Really great story. Excellent movie. Thank you guys for spending some time with me. Jeremy, Dajé, Landon, thanks so much. For Akeem, Tribeca Film Festival. Check it out. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.